Chosen One. What I am about to reveal defies all logic, all recorded history, and every boundary humanity has ever known. According to the most elite treasure-hunting teams and the highest-ranked researchers of ancient civilizations, you are doing things that only a god should be capable of. For the first time in the entire recorded history of the gods themselves, someone in the mortal world is mirroring their power. How is this possible? That single question ignited the largest investigative mission of our age. What these scholars uncovered was unprecedented. Every mythology, every philosophical text, every ancient writing, from the temples of Egypt to the epics of Greece to the Pleiadian archives, circles back to one singular figure: you. Their records, symbols, and prophecies align with impossible precision, as though the entire ancient world had been waiting, breathless, for your arrival. Before we dive deeper, do the simple thing. Hit like, subscribe, we're pushing for 30,000, and drop the number 11 in the comments. When you're ready, keep going, because what comes next changes everything. The research teams discovered that the patterns of your actions perfectly mirror events once attributed only to divine beings, acts far beyond anything humanity should ever be able to achieve. Your body shows no trace of ordinary aging. Your mere presence triggers awakenings in others that leave medical specialists speechless, grasping for explanations that don't exist. Holy scholars poring over the oldest scriptures and testaments now identify you as the last divine, the final cosmic figure foretold to appear at the end of the first age of the gods. According to these texts, every sign, every symbol, every long-buried prophecy has now been fulfilled. As this evidence continues to mount, world leaders, secret organizations, and global elites can no longer dismiss what has surfaced. They have quietly declared you the new divine force, the being destined to shape an entirely new universe. This is where your true story begins. History has always been written in fragments. Ancient texts, faded scrolls, hidden inscriptions pieced together by generations of scholars. Yet even the most seasoned historians could never have imagined what was about to be unveiled. Deep within sealed catacombs beneath Egypt, elite researchers discovered a series of tablets that did not merely record events. They pointed, with unmistakable clarity, to a singular presence that has influenced humanity across millennia. The sheer weight of these findings forced even the most skeptical minds to question everything we thought we knew about civilization itself. When the team began cross-referencing Greek myths, Pleiadian law, and ancient philosophical treatises, a shocking pattern emerged. Every civilization, no matter how distant in time or place, had described a being whose actions transcended human limitation. Egyptian hieroglyphs showed a figure moving effortlessly through time. Greek epics sang of a hero whose deeds were divinely orchestrated. Pleiadian cosmic texts described an entity capable of awakening dormant energies across the universe. It was as if all human storytelling, across every culture and epoch, had been silently converging on the same existence. The magnitude of this revelation sent shockwaves through the scholarly world. Archaeologists, philosophers, and linguists suddenly found themselves reevaluating everything they had ever been taught. What was once dismissed as myth or allegory now stared humanity in the face with irrefutable evidence. Entire paradigms teetered on the brink of collapse. Previously obscure symbols, long thought merely decorative, were revealed to bear the unmistakable signature of the same extraordinary being. Every account of divine intervention, every tale of a hero achieving the impossible, aligned perfectly with a single timeline and identity. The implication was staggering. History itself had been quietly chronicling the rise of a figure who defies the natural order. This discovery was not merely academic. It was deeply, profoundly personal. It touched something ancient in the human psyche, the quiet knowing that we have never been truly alone, that a force beyond comprehension has been shaping our destiny from the shadows. In that realization, awe and fear intertwined, leaving scholars, adventurers, and elites alike wondering whether the very concept of divinity was about to be redefined forever. The word impossible loses all meaning when you study the feats of the Chosen One. Ancient Greek texts speak of battles won with a gesture. Egyptian hieroglyphs depict the bending of natural law itself. Pleiadian chronicles describe energy manipulations that modern physics cannot even dream of explaining. Each story, from every corner of antiquity, confirms the same truth. This is a life that exists beyond all ordinary boundaries. The impossible has become reality, and the world can only watch in silent wonder. Every action you take sends ripples across realms both seen and unseen. When ancient texts speak of the awakening of hidden cosmic forces, they're not speaking metaphorically, they're describing the literal consequences of your existence. Entire ecosystems shift. Human consciousness expands. Spiritual awareness ignites. Even the most mundane gesture, a touch, a word, a glance, produces outcomes once confined to legend. Scholars of mythology, philosophy, and metaphysics now find themselves rewriting their entire fields, struggling to separate fact from what they once called fiction. What makes this extraordinary is not merely the power, but the purpose behind it. You do not wield these abilities for personal gain. Every miraculous act is an echo of a cosmic mission written into the oldest scriptures of the world. Humanity is witnessing not just astonishing feats, but the slow, deliberate unfolding of a destiny encoded in myth, prophecy, and divine record since the dawn of time. It began as a whisper in the academic world, a discovery too significant, too dangerous to speak of openly. Bound by both curiosity and caution, researchers sifted through texts deliberately hidden for centuries, texts that carried warnings, knowledge so profound it could shatter the foundations of belief itself. Yet the evidence was too consistent, too overwhelming to ignore. Forbidden findings showed you performing acts that blur the line between myth and reality. Ancient Egyptian priests recorded rituals that defied nature. Greek philosophers described visions that pierced time itself. Pleiadian sources spoke of energy manipulations that lie far beyond the grasp of modern science. Every fragment pointed to a reality humanity was never meant to comprehend, yet could no longer deny. The emotional journey of the researchers was profound. Awe turned to disbelief, disbelief to fear, and fear to unbreakable determination. They realized they were not simply uncovering history. They were standing in the presence of proof, a divine presence that challenged everything science, religion, and philosophy had ever claimed. The deeper they delved into these forbidden archives, the greater the urgency became. The world needed to know, even if the truth felt too colossal for ordinary minds to hold. Hardened scientists and explorers felt a rare humility settle over them. Here was a being whose very existence mocked human arrogance, whose actions reminded us how fragile and limited ordinary life truly is. For these researchers, it ceased to be a career-defining moment. It became a spiritual awakening, an encounter with a truth so immense that their lives, and perhaps the world itself, would never be the same again. Across continents and millennia, civilizations wrote their myths and histories in isolation, or so we believed. Yet when scholars compared texts from Egypt, Greece, Mesopotamia, and far beyond, a breathtaking pattern revealed itself. Every culture, independently, had chronicled the existence of a being whose power, wisdom, and actions transcended humanity. These were not coincidences. They were echoes of one enduring truth. From Egyptian hieroglyphs depicting eternal life to Greek epics of divine battles, from lost societies leaving cryptic symbols to Pleiadian records of cosmic awakenings, every story bore the fingerprints of the same central figure. Researchers cross-referenced dates, locations, descriptions, and found uncanny, perfect alignment in actions, appearance, and purpose. Scattered humanity had somehow witnessed you, again and again, across time and geography, leaving fragmented yet unmistakably connected evidence. And these texts carried more than stories, they carried prophecy. They spoke of a being who would appear at the great crossroads of human evolution, capable of altering destiny and awakening the latent potential sleeping within the world. The realization was exhilarating and terrifying in equal measure. Humanity had spent millennia searching for a unifying thread through history, a key to the mysteries of existence. And now every path, across cultures, eras, even galaxies, led unmistakably to you. In the dusty archives of Egypt, hieroglyphs once thought to portray generic gods or pharaohs were revealed to point to one singular figure whose deeds spanned centuries, controlling elements, bestowing wisdom, guiding rulers from the shadows. Every temple inscription, every pyramid carving whispered the same long-forgotten name, now unmistakable. Greek texts echoed the revelation in haunting harmony. Homeric epics described a hero whose courage and skill rivaled Olympus itself. Philosophers wrote of a being whose wisdom quietly reshaped moral and ethical frameworks for entire civilizations. When the two traditions were laid side by side, the alignment was undeniable. The same being, celebrated in different languages, yet undeniably identical. The emotional weight was crushing. Civilizations separated by oceans and centuries had documented one divine presence, as though humanity had been silently chronicling you all along, building a mosaic that only now, in this moment, can be fully seen. Beyond records, these texts revealed your influence on pivotal moments, Egyptian rulers crediting victories and bountiful harvests to unseen guidance, Greek city-states tracing the birth of democracy and philosophy to divine counsel. Across both cultures, one quiet force had shaped the evolution of human thought, morality, and society. And then came the cosmic records. Pleiadian texts, long dismissed as esoteric fantasy, described a being who manipulated energy and consciousness across dimensions, catalyzed universal shifts, guided interstellar councils. When compared with earthly records, the parallels were exact. The same abilities, the same moral compass, the same ageless presence. The universe itself seemed to respond to you. Energy flows aligning, cosmic events unfolding in perfect accordance with ancient prophecies. Scientists and historians grappling with these documents found the line between physics and spirituality dissolving. Could one being truly hold sway over multiple dimensions? Could human civilization be only one small chapter in a vast cosmic story? The evidence roared yes. By linking earthly and extraterrestrial records, scholars reached an inescapable conclusion. Across time, space, and culture, every path converges on the same truth. You are real, you are extraordinary, and you stand poised to redefine everything humanity thought it knew about existence, divinity, and the cosmos. Your feats defy reason itself, healing the incurable, influencing events across continents with a thought, bending natural laws as casually as breathing, battles won without lifting a weapon, crops flourishing against impossible odds, civilizations leaping forward centuries in the blink of an eye. Modern scientists have documented medical anomalies, environmental shifts, cosmic alignments, all directly tied to your presence. Elite teams from every discipline have reached the same conclusion. No ordinary human, no historical legend as we once understood them, could do what you do. Humanity built its entire worldview on reason and limitation. You have shattered every boundary. And in doing so, you demand a new framework. One that makes room for wonder, for the extraordinary latent in all existence. Perhaps the most undeniable proof is your body itself. It does not age. Medical examinations reveal cells that regenerate in perfect harmony, energy signatures that defy biology, a radiant vitality science cannot quantify. Physicians, biologists, geneticists, experts who have spent lifetimes studying mortality call it miraculous. A living embodiment of eternity. Tissue samples, DNA analysis, energy field readings, every test returns patterns that break known science. You are not immortal in myth alone. You are physically, undeniably immortal, a walking anomaly that forces us to rewrite the laws of life itself. And it is not just the absence of aging. People who stand in your presence describe waves of reverence, awe, even love washing over them, as if the human soul instinctively recognizes something ancient and familiar. Every interaction feels like a reminder. Ordinary rules do not apply here. Ancient texts always hinted that such a body was more than a gift. It was a symbol. Egyptian tablets spoke of the eternal flesh of the divine. Greek myths told of heroes who stepped beyond mortality. Today, those metaphors have become flesh and blood reality. If one being can exist outside time, what does that mean for the rest of us? Could your presence awaken the same latent eternity in humanity? The questions burn. The proof stands before us, alive and breathing. Medical teams assigned to study, you have watched their instruments malfunction. Their scans return impossible data. Their own perceptions shift in your presence. Heart rates, neurological patterns, cellular regeneration. Everything operates outside known physiology. Electromagnetic fields dance. Subtle vibrations respond with apparent intelligence. Many doctors describe the experience as the most humbling of their careers, a confrontation with something transcendent. You exist at the intersection where science dissolves into divinity. As researchers delved deeper, a final, electrifying alignment emerged. You match, perfectly, the descriptions of the last divine foretold across every major civilization. From Egyptian scrolls to Greek treatises to Pleiadian prophecy, every text predicted the arrival of a final cosmic being who would signal the greatest shift in universal history. Centuries-old passages, once thought allegorical, now read like eyewitness reports of you, your behaviors, your abilities, even your appearance. Philosophical writings on wisdom and cosmic balance suddenly click into place, revealing the guiding intelligence behind what we mistook for random history. Humanity has been anticipating you unknowingly for thousands of years. Ancient prophecies spoke clearly. The last divine would awaken hidden potential, bridge mortal and divine, and usher in a new age. Watching you move through the world, scholars now understand. Those texts were literal. The emotional impact is overwhelming. Humanity has spent lifetimes searching for meaning in chaos. Here, at last, is living proof that destiny is real, recorded, and unfolding right now. You are the embodiment of the final divine promise we have carried since the beginning. Every prophesied sign has manifested: unaging flesh, miraculous deeds, the awakening of dormant energies in others, cosmic resonance, interdimensional awareness. Plants flourish in your presence. Emotions shift. Storms calm or intensify at your passing. These are not coincidences. They are the markers foretold for millennia. Across every culture, scholars once argued over symbols and metaphors. Today, those same signs live and breathe in one person. The alignment is so precise it leaves no room for doubt. You represent the first unprecedented breakthrough in what scholars now call the Age of Gods. No being, human or divine, has ever demonstrated simultaneous mastery of cosmic energy, eternal life, and transformative influence on this scale. Myth, prophecy, and reality have converged in you. Heads of state, international councils, and ancient orders have acknowledged your arrival. Some react with cautious reverence, some with hope, some with fear of a power that could reshape everything. Global institutions are quietly rewriting protocols, ethics, and frameworks to engage with a living divine presence responsibly. Secret organizations, long tasked with guarding hidden knowledge, have completed their investigations. Their encrypted archives, surveillance records, and ancient manuscripts all confirm the same thing: you fulfill every criterion of the final prophecy. What was once fringe knowledge is now undeniable fact, verified at every level: historical, scientific, spiritual, and organizational. Your emergence heralds a new universal era. This is no ordinary turning point. Human history, cosmic events, and spiritual evolution are converging because of you. You awaken latent energy, inspire moral awakening, and redirect the trajectory of life itself. The universe responds as though recognizing the shift it has awaited since the first dawn. People across the planet feel it, a rising sense of purpose, unity, hope. Long-fractured humanity now has a living focal point that embodies our highest potential. You are not myth. You are not legend. You are here, and the new era has already begun.